going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 1047 the other day went ahead and put up some patch notes for Splitgate 2, and let me tell you guys something. They absolutely shook up the whole gameplay flow of Splitgate 2, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I am kind of liking it right now. Now, of course, within the patch notes, they're not crazy. It's not like, the patch notes themselves are just, the best thing in the universe. We got a few performance fixes between Battle Royale and, also the base arena side of the game too, which we will go ahead and discuss. But the big boy juicy details here are the Sabrask changes. Yes, you heard that correctly, ladies and gentlemen. The drop shield has been rearranged. And I'm not going to say nerfed because I technically don't think it's been nerfed, but a few things have been done. And as I stated in the beginning of this video, they are huge. And it will 1010% after at least I've been trying it out. It has 1010% changed how everybody goes about playing this game, especially regarding the OBJ. But, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep into all these details, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget subscribing to that bell. I post here daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And, of course, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I got to link that channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and hop into the performance changes first, and then we'll dive right on in deep to the Sabrask changes, since that's obviously going to be the heavy bulk of the overall video. First and foremost for Battle Royale. Long pregame timers, minute 30, will occur less often, primarily in cases where players are taking longer than expected to load into the match. Killing an enemy now only reveals their teammates on the radar instead of providing a wall hack effect, which I personally think is phenomenal. Friendly pings are now only visible in the world if you are in the same biome as the ping. Improved server performance, especially for players with high latency. That is another absolutely phenomenal one. I hope you guys let me know down in the comments section if the performance has improved for you guys within Battle Royale. After that, improved load times, especially for players on lower end hardware. Beautiful. Looks like last gen is finally getting, some more beefier updates, which is huge. And then improved the appearance of far away environments. And then moving over to the arena side of things, other fixes and improvements. Fixed an issue that could cause projectiles to have the incorrect size on clients, which I don't know if this is true or not, but I assume this means, getting shot through the portal. If you guys remember what I was saying back, a little while ago, when you leave your portal, it seems like bullets, the magnification of these bullets are way too big that it's just like a nuclear bomb coming out your portal and you get killed even when you're at a 90-degree turn. I tested it out a little bit. I can't really tell too well, but I don't know. If we can get some confirmation on what this exactly means, that would be great. Fixed an issue causing exclamation points to appear incorrectly in certain parts of the UI and become impossible to clear. Yes, I tested this and it's perfectly good now across the board. Fixed an issue that occasionally caused players to lose momentum mid-air when exiting a launch portal. Thank the heavens, because personally I play a lot of Onslaught 8v8v8 where the launch portals block it just blocks your path. Sometimes it's just random block in the sky that you hit and then you lose all momentum and just drop right into the middle of 3 different teams that beam you. So I'm happy this one is fixed, and I tried it, tested it out on all the maps, and it does work properly. Fixed several issues that could result in players getting stuck inside portal walls. Never saw this one before, but I'm glad it's fixed. Fixed a bug that occasionally caused players to not appear in the pre-game lobby. This was a pretty short bug, but I'm glad they fixed it very quickly. Fixed several issues causing visual effects to render incorrectly when viewed through a portal. Fixed several small issues with lighting in certain areas. Lobbies created for the lab are now set to private by default. And improved performance across many areas of the game. And personally, from what I'm feeling right now, the performance is feeling very, very, very crispy. But again, that's just for me. I want to know what everybody else is feeling as well, because again, without your guys' information, without the knowledge that you guys have to share, we don't know if the game is fixed or not. So please come out. If you're still having problems, let us know down in the comment section. But let's go ahead and move on to the juicy details, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to cause either a lot of tears or a lot of smiles. As you can see right here, balance changes to Sabrask, smart wall ability. The front side of the wall now blocks shots from enemies and allies, and the back side of the wall can now be shot through by enemies and allies. So ladies and gentlemen, basically, if you go ahead and put down a smart wall, you and your team can shoot through it, obviously. But if you hop to the opposite end of your smart wall and start shooting directly at it, you will cause damage to the smart wall. You can no longer shoot through it both ways. But at the same time, enemies, if they can get the advantage over you and, get behind your smart wall, it becomes theirs. They can shoot through it, but just like you guys, if they're on the opposite end, no bullets will go on through. Now, I've seen a lot of people salty saying that this is going to make the Sabrask wall absolutely useless, because the Sabrask wall is pretty dang good, if I'm going to be honest with you, and it's almost a mandatory class within this game. This is the best class to have when it comes to any OBJ game mode, and if you don't have anybody playing Sabrask, you're more than likely going to lose. Having that drop shield is huge, and it helps tremendously with locking down areas and giving your teammates a bit more cover so they can land some more shots on the enemies to, go ahead and give them an advantage within the gunfights. So this one is a big one, and a lot of people are calling it a nerf, but honestly, I think it's a fair balance change. Trust me, I'm a Sabrask lover. This is one of my favorite factions in the game, and I love all of their weapons. But if I'm going to be honest with you, the shield became more of a one-on-one type of tool, It's like almost a guaranteed win every single time you went ahead and put this down, because no matter how you go ahead and work around the shield, you can use it as permanent cover. You can use it as permanent cover from behind. You can use it as permanent cover from in front. You can even go to the side of the shield and kind of jiggle around it to make sure it's just a little sliver of cover, but you can still go to the side and use it as permanent cover. It's absolutely insane. It's a guaranteed, as I stated, in a 1v1 scenario, it's a guarantee. Yes, you could portal behind them, but before this, change has happened, I almost called it a nerf when I said I wasn't going to call it a nerf. But before this change happened, even if you portal behind the person with the shield, like I said, they just go to the front end of it, they still have cover, they shoot you down. It is devastating going against this thing sometimes. Unless you're going in as a unit with 2 to 3 people, you can quickly take it out and move around here. But this change, in my opinion, is beautiful, and it doesn't take away from the usefulness of the shield. It still has the same HP, right? It's not like they nerfed the advantage that it has over opponents. All they did is make it a one-way shield. You can only shoot through it one way, and enemies can take advantage of this as well. And from what I can tell, there does seem to be a certain amount of people out there who do not like this change whatsoever and think that Sabrask is useless now. But I beg to differ. I think, again, as a Sabrask lover, I don't want to call myself a main because, again, I fill in all the slots that need to be filled. But I love Sabrask. I really do think that he is the handiest when it comes to clearing OBJs and securing OBJs. As someone who loves Sabrask, I think that this is absolutely perfect because it makes me think. When I go to put down my barrier, I have to plan this out. I have to think about, where I'm positioning, how I'm going to position it, if someone's going to flank me, how can I avoid that flank, and how can I, up my chances to secure that overall area. Before that, I didn't think when I put down the shield. You get on OBJ, you just put it down right in the middle, and you can literally, as I stated, jiggle peek every angle, every single angle that could be approached from you, unless, people are shooting you and cross-firing. If they're just pushing around one by one, bit by bit, you could just jiggle around the shield. Every area is security for you, and you never were worried about losing the advantage of having that cover. Now you do. I can't just plant it in the middle and use it as, full 360 cover. I have to plan it out. I have to expect their spawns. I have to know if they're going to try to split, if they're going to rotate. Shoot, even one of the homies in my stream 11 said that this is going to up the pick rate of the smoke grenades by tenfold probably. If you really think about it, from what I notice, people mostly just pick the frag grenade and the mine because they're great for securing objectives and clearing objectives. But the smoke is useful utility. And also, for those who don't know, the smoke blocks the portals. If you put it in front of a portal wall, you can't use your portal on it. You can't. The smoke completely blocks it until it fades away. So if you really want to lock it down and not get flanked and lose your position, guess what? The pick rate for smokes is going to increase. More people are going to put down their shield, pop a smoke behind them, and just anchor in and get ready for some gunfights. And for the offensive players, the people who are going against the Sabrask player, from my perspective, it's just so much more fun. It really is. There's actual counterplay to it, and you can even take that shield to your advantage. It's no longer just, okay, I'm either going to run away, I'm going to try to attempt to, get behind him, and maybe I can make something work. I'd probably just have to melee because, if I even try to shoot, he's just going to jump to the front end of the shield and get more cover. So you got to keep it close. You got to punch him a bunch. Or, you just go ahead and break down the barrier. No, you can strategically use this. If you portal behind them and scare them, the amount of people that I have scared from portaling behind them and they jump away as they usually always do. But now they don't have to cover their shield when they do so, and they're shooting at their shield, breaking it down while I'm using it as permanent cover. The amount of people that I see doing this is just, it's awesome. There's true counterplay, and it's fun to go against, whereas before it was kind of a nuisance. As I stated before, it really is the 1v1 clutch machine. I love this thing in 1v1 engagements. It almost guarantees me a body every single time, even if they try to bounce around me with portals. You know, as I stated before 1,000 times already, I just jiggle around the shield because it covers me from all angles. It was so boring. It just wasn't that fun of a thing to go up against. Now it is. And taking it to your advantage and then continuously whooping down on the enemies feels great. And as the person putting down the shield, you have to think about this stuff now. You have to think, because if you put down a bad shield, guess what? You screwed your teammate over. You didn't just screw yourself over. No, not at all. You screwed your team over, because now that shield can be used for the other player's advantage. So you can't just rush it. You can't just throw it around. You must strategize. Personally, this was not a nerf, ladies and gentlemen. This was just a quality of life change. They were just simply fine-tuning the shield. And the way that it is now enhances the skill gap. And I truthfully can't see any negatives about this one. But again, that's just my personal opinion, and I would love to hear your personal opinions down below as well. Even if you think that the Sabrask, changes should be reverted, let us know why. Please. That's the best part about YouTube. That's the best part about making these videos. You got to see what everybody thinks and how everybody feels about certain changes, how the game is going, so on and so forth. So, as I always state, go down in the comment section and share your opinions down below. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. Splitgate, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Arc Raiders. You best believe you hear it on this channel. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I got to link the channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.